New lake alert.
New lake, Lake Traverse. Yeah.
I think you guys probably, if you followed the next bite, you know Tom Huynh.
Yep, we always pick some of the worst conditions to be out, you know?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's part of it too, but you just had a pretty good tournament on the bow of your boat.
Yeah,
right?
I'll take it.
NWT champ right
Yeah.
here. This lake's pretty cool though. It's really long, narrow,
It is.
shallow,
Yep.
dirty water.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you fish it a decent amount in the fall, right? And we're here in the fall,
Yep.
perfect timing. Right at turnover. First 2 cold nights of the fall.
Yep.
Should be awesome.
Yeah.
But we got the magician on the bow with us. Tell you what, we're gonna show you the next bite.
Just looking for the next bite, next bite, next bite, next bite. Just looking for the next bite.
On paper, you couldn't drop a worse scenario to catch fish. During the fall turnover and the first couple cold nights of autumn are historically some of the hardest days of fishing of the year. But on a body of water that's loaded with walleyes like Lake Traverse, combined with the right technique, Tom and Chase should be able to break down a great bite. Putting together reaction-style baits like the finisher and the most basic possible bait, a jig and crawler, should put a few in the boat.
All right, we're out here in October. It's the coldest day we've had this year. We're on Lake Traverse, which is on the border of Minnesota and South Dakota, and it's absolutely full of eater-sized walleyes with your random big ones here mixed in. We're dealing here with the tail end of algae bloom, trying to give the fish a couple different presentations, crawler and a jig. We're using a reaction bait too. We're using the Berkeley finisher. If you're on that border water area where it's nice and shallow, you don't have very much water to break down, the fish are just out here roaming.
Oh, yep. Yeah, I'll get the net.
Oh, I probably boat flip them, you know, like a bass person. Yeah.
Like a bass person.
Yeah.
Did you just say boat flip them like a bass person?
Yeah,
Did you used to be a bass person?
used to. Doesn't pay the bills anymore.
Right in the rough of the mouth.
Yeah,
Oh, he just popped off. Perfect.
that's good.
Like a bass person, you said. Hey, it's definitely been a little bit weird though. I mean, they seem pretty skittish from any reactionary baits
Yeah.
right now, and you know, you just let that crawler sit right in front of
You
you.
have to, and you know, like you said, this time of year can get a little bit tough,
Yeah.
but
You know what? We're having some fun.
yeah.
There you go, buddy. All right.
The next bite is brought to you by Mercury Marine, Go Boldly, Schaefer's Specialized Lubricant, Putting Equipment First, Nitro Boats, Performance Fishing Boats, Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Berkeley, your fish, our science. And Power Pole, Total Boat Control.
Next bite.
Closed captioning for the next bite is provided by Whitewater, built to brave the waves. The finisher has become a popular bait to pair with forward-facing sonar.
Well, there's a decent amount. Oh. What is going on right now?
Yeah.
There's sure a decent amount of these in here, though, isn't
Oh, yeah.
there? No,
Yeah.
he came at it like
He
it
did.
was a 5-pounder. He
Yeah.
wanted it, but you know what? Not a 5-pounder.
An interesting development with the use of forward-facing sonar during a lake turnover cold front situation is you have to go back to one of the most basic and subtle presentations, the jig and crawler. It couldn't be more opposite than the finisher, but in a situation where the fish can be a little off because of the weather conditions, the combinations of the two is perfect to catch both the active and inactive fish.
So let me talk a little bit about the 1-2 punch that we're using here today to catch these walleyes. And it's gonna be a glide bait and a jig and a crawler. So nothing too crazy, but it really works well when you can have two guys using both techniques like this to try to see which one the walleyes are going after. When it comes to the equipment though, whether I'm using that jig and crawler or the Berkley finisher right here, I'm gonna use the same rod setup. This is a Johnny Moore Signature Series 6'8", medium extra fast action. So a 6'8" is something that's just a little bit shorter than what I typically like to throw a finisher on. But the reason being is it's shallower water. We're making really short pitches. I don't need a 7 or a 7'2" rod to cast this long distance. And on top of it, the Berkley finisher that I'm using is a size number 7. I've downsized it to get that slower fall so you can keep that bait in front of these fish that are in 5 to 8 feet of water a lot easier. Talk a little bit about the line here. Same line with both the setups. 10-pound fire line, something that I use in a lot of my spinning rod situations. Obviously both setups we're going to have a fluorocarbon leader. This is 15-pound fluorocarbon right here, Berkley 100%. So really good setup there for throwing that small Berkley finisher. Next setup obviously is just something that's been used for decades, and it's just a jig and a crawler. This is a Berkley hybrid jig, brand new series of jigs from Berkley, Fusion 19 hooks. So 1-2 punch in the fall. It's going to put a lot of walleyes in the boat, no matter what system you're on.
Oh, there. Yep. No.
I got him! I got him! What the world was that? I mean, I got him, but I almost lost the rod.
You gonna make it?
I'm not sure. I'm a little nervous now.
What was that?
That was amazing. I don't even know what happened.
I don't either. I turned around.
I think, well, so I'm 41 now. Hands are getting a little weak, so
yeah.
I set the hook and the rod just falls out of my hand, I guess. I thought it was a pretty amazing move, not losing the rod. So you could give me a little bit of credit, okay? Holy cow. Now the bait's hooked in the net. The fish is lassoed. This one's a little bit longer. This one's all right. Here. I mean, he startled me when he turned on it. There we go. He's a little lassoed up here. We got him.
Yeah, we got
That one's a little bit nicer right there. It's a decent one.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say about what happened there.
Yeah.
Do you think it's old age?
It's on camera, so people can make their judgment
Like he swatted
on
at it and hit it so hard I set the hook and the rod. It's like my hand just stopped working.
Yeah.
My sister's a doctor. Maybe I should go see if something's going on. I don't know, but
Good idea.
I don't know how I didn't lose the rod. There's out of both of my
I don't
hands.
know how you did either. When I turned around for a brief second, the rod was like slow motion in the air.
All right. Hey, we'll get you back, bud. Thank you very much. Whoa, 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 whoa. He's ready.
Total Control, presented by Power Pole. 20 years of trust, evolved from Total Boat Control.
So one bait that we've talked about enough is the SR crawler. You know, this is a bait that I had help in designing for the spinner rig type or crawler harness type crawler. So the 7-inch version was for all those big, you know, crawler harnesses. You know, the little 4-inch version was for those compact, you know, slow turn hooks or even a compact crawler harness. Or one other time that I like to use the 4-inch SR crawler is on just a jig trailer. You know, this is a little 1/8 ounce jig here with the 4-inch SR crawler, and this is a type a bait that I want to use a lot of times when the water's colder, right? Gulp, hold scent, and so it's going to disperse that scent into the water when it's a little bit tougher, when those fish are a little bit more lethargic. But I'm going to generally use it in those cleaner water situations. It's just a lot more lifelike action. At the end of the day, in the SR crawler, we have an array of colors. You know, it's one of those things where I always thought it was weird why we're using this brown night crawler, even in dirty water, and they seem to find it, but now we have options and colors, and obviously the durability to go along with it.
So let me talk a little bit about the scenario that we're in here on Lake Traverse. And this entire lake is extremely shallow, and there's a lot of what I would call trash fish too. So it's really a matter of trying to sort through looking at active target to determine which ones you're going to cast at. And what we found, because most of the time we're fishing in say 5 to 8 feet of water and there's a lot of marks all over the place, it's kind of tough to differentiate just by looking at them whether they're sheep's head, whether they're perch, whether they're walleyes, because some of the walleyes obviously aren't real big here. But the thing that we've absolutely found and you really want to pay attention to are the walleyes are the ones that aren't moving very much. You want to slow it down, look for those fish that are sitting stationary, especially if they're up off the bottom a little bit, and try to throw what you have right next to them and see if you can get a follow and a hit. So keep that in mind. When there's a lot of trash fish, look for the slower moving or the marks that are just sitting still and target those to catch more walleye. Yeah, I'll grab the net for you.
All right.
Are you serious about the sun?
Yeah, the sun came out and they just got
Just because I was asking for the sun?
Yeah.
Get your fish out of there.
Now if you get clouds up a little bit, I think they'll turn back on.
What, you got short arms or what?
Yeah. That's why I use a small net in my boat, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy, there's a lot of them like that in this
There are.
system.
Ton of them. Ton of fish out here.
There's a 2-pack of them. I didn't do my job. I thought that we were gonna have a double there for a second, but it's not the case.
Yeah. I set the hook too early, I think. But yeah.
Need a pliers or
Yeah.
what?
I do. We have one out here.
There we go. Oh, jigging a crawler.
Jig and crawler, can you imagine that?
Tom Huynh, jigging a crawler.
I thought I'd try it for once.
Yeah.
You give it a whirl. I heard it works.
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
I think it might.
Yeah.
So one of the things when you're throwing the Berkeley finisher, which I am today in a size number 7, is really paying attention to throughout the year the different cadences that you want to fish with this. Now, obviously in the summer months, just like you would with almost any presentation, you can be a little bit more aggressive with your action, with your cadence. You know, you might pop this bait a little bit harder, but we're dealing with really turnover time frame, okay? Early fall, we're having some really cold nights right now, but let me kind of show you how I've been working this. And as it gets colder, you've got to pay attention to kind of slowing the cadence down. And really all you're doing is you're almost just working it in place with little hops like this. And what that does with the bait is it forces the finisher to almost like walk the dog. And it keeps that bait up above that fish right in their face. So even though it's dirty water, they're able to key in on it and stay on it. Just those short little pops to get that bait moving slowly side to side, keeping it right in the face of that fish. It's gonna put a lot of fish in the boat as the water starts cooling down if you're gonna use a glide bait like this. Did he eat it?
He ate it.
This is gonna be a good
Yep.
one. Got him?
Yeah.
Yeah? Good one? Pretty good one.
A good one. Yeah.
Oh, he's just a jumbo, isn't he? Hey, don't let this thing work you like this.
I can't help
mean,
it.
holy cow.
My arms aren't.
I know.
I can't help it, man.
Oh, there you go. Nice
Yeah.
fish. That's a good one. Yeah.
Solid.
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. That's a nice one right there.
is.
That's a better one. But yeah, it was funny because we were scanning and all of a sudden we're like, ooh, that one looks pretty
Yeah.
good. And of course, Tom Huynh puts a perfect cast on it.
You know.
And here's what it looked like on active target. He went like this.
Yep. They will go completely vertical. Even a lot of people don't realize they'll do that, but they
Picked it
will.
up. I'm not gonna lie though. You guys maybe haven't seen it, but he's been missing a lot of bites.
Hey.
And
Hey.
I didn't say anything. I have my fingers crossed, but you got this one. There we go.
The next bite is brought to you by Mercury Marine. Go boldly. Schaefer's Specialized Lubricant. Putting equipment first. Nitro Boats. Performance Fishing Boats. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Berkeley. Your fish, our science. Lowrance. The ultimate fishing system. And Power Pole. Total boat control. Hot topics, leading information and tackling techniques to make you a better angler. Presented by Mercury.
So one of the most common questions that we get asked about, and this is even from our competitors, is what is the range on my boat? How far can I go without running out of gas to maybe a fishing spot, whatever it is? And there's a screen in the SmartCraft that you really want to pay attention to if you're truly worried about how far you can go, basically your range. Also, your fuel economy. And one screen will do all of that for you. It's your fuel flow and fuel use screen. Now, obviously, the most important thing is to know how much gas is in your boat. Obviously, you got to understand that you need to know your max capacity of gas in your boat. So for this boat, for instance, I can put about 83 gallons in it. But from there, all you truly need to do is reset your fuel used part here to go to 0 gallons. And then whether you're idling, whether you're going 20 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour, it will show you exactly how much fuel you've burned. So you can really keep track of how much gas you have left. Now, if you're starting to panic that you feel like you might be a little short coming back in, you might not quite have enough, that's where you really need to start paying attention to the fuel flow. That's basically your fuel economy, how many gallons per hour you're burning. So yes, it seems almost common sense, but a lot of people don't know that they can actually understand exactly how much gas is in their boat, exactly how far they can go simply by using their Mercury SmartCraft gauge.
One very interesting part about using forward-facing sonar is the learning curve. It isn't as easy as one would think. That being said, one of the hardest parts about using it is identifying what species of fish you're looking at.
Mr. Tom Huynh, that is a walleye.
It is. In amongst a bunch of sheephead.
Yeah.
Specifically in a location like Lake Traverse where there are a lot of other species. That being said, it's also a great location to learn because of the fish numbers. The more fish you're able to come into contact with, the better.
That looks like a good one.
This is going to be a good one.
Did he eat it yet?
Oh, yep, picked it
just
up.
picked it up? You gonna set the hook on that thing, or? Oh, yep. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, we're definitely gonna need to get on this. This is a good fish. I feel like it's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Watching him go down on the craft like that, it looked pretty good.
Yeah, it did.
You need me to tighten that drag up for you?
How long is this episode again?
I mean, if you want me to tighten the drag up, I will. Oh yeah, nice fish. Really nice fish. Come on, come on. Holy cow, he's not a 12 pound. He is pretty big though. I mean, this is almost getting obnoxious right now. Look at that.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
What the heck?
Hey,
They don't grow them like this over here, you know?
was.
It's thick.
Oh, the jig popped out too. Look, holy cow! Tom, this thing's a monster.
It's huge for out here. It's absolutely giant for out here.
It's huge for
Anywhere.
dude. That was, you could tell it was a good one though.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you made that really short little pitch with
Yeah.
it, and it followed the crawler down, and you could just see the length on you know, on active target. The length was just long.
Yep.
And you're like,
you can
yeah,
take,
he's
yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
But then you fought him like he was like an 8 or a 9 pounder.
Well,
Well, he is.
yeah.
Oh, I'll
So
tell you
45
what.
minutes later.
Yeah, about 45 minutes later, but I'll tell you what, it really has not been a great bite. And I think
No.
it's just because it's the first cold front
Yep.
of the fall, right?
is.
Early fall, and that's kind of a typical thing in some of these lakes like this, but
Yeah.
we've battled, and when you can battle enough to catch one like that, it's
I
sure
know, it's worth it for sure.
Attaboy. Hey,
Yeah.
aviators and all right there.
Right here.
There we go, girl. Thank you very much. Oh, look at the size of
It's
that thing.
freaking giant.
Just a giant.
Giant.
Absolute giant. Oh. There we go. Come on, girl. Come on.
Yeah.
There.
Nice.
Little Walter.
You need help? You
Not-
need help?
Not too bad. What are you doing back there? I'm up here doing all the work. You're
Hey.
sitting back there eating sandwiches.
Yeah, well,
Like,
the end of the season, you
I'm
know?
just catching them. I'm doing what I do up here. What do you got, a deli combo back there?
I think it is a deli combo sandwich with Colby Jack cheese.
Catching walleyes, Tom's eating.
Yeah.
Definitely not a big one, but there were 2 of them,
Yeah.
and we'd gone quite a while, and I think most of them that we were seeing were definitely not walleyes, and we could tell they were, so.
Yeah.
You know what? I was sick of just staring at the graphs, so
I know.
sometimes you just gotta cast and catch one.
I know. That's it. That's the thing. Especially when you got so much junk fish in the system.
I know. But it was crazy. Like, you couldn't see it because the algae's so thick on the surface, and then it's like, yep, delicious 14-incher.
Heck yeah. Oh, that. Yep. No.
I got him! I got him! What in the world was that?